Bonjour, c'est lundi, le 17 octobre. Aujourd'hui à Spokane, il fait froid, il fait gris, il fait du vent. Et à Tacoma, quel temps fait-il? What's the weather like over there in Tacoma? Il fait gris, il fait du vent. Aussi, is it also windy and gray over there? Let's look at the rubric for your final project for Unit 1. And if you look at this, I'm going to show you the Qui suis-je project. And there it is in there, 28 points. There is a lot that needs to happen here. You can't just do a couple of small paragraphs to make 28 points fly. 28 is a lot. There's a lot of standards here. In my classroom, my students are expected to give a variety, a lot of information in order to get a 4. Okay, introduce and give basic information about you and your one other person that you've chosen. Okay, for this standard, and I want to see the identité information from your book. And if you cannot remember where that is, let me show you how to work your book again. Okay, so everything, I need to log in here. I'm sorry. Now, if it's Firefox, it may not let me do it again. It did. So you're always going to your online textbook, right? And you're always making sure we're going to be in Unit 1. And all of the standards can be found in this book. So if I wanted you to do the identité, I'm going to move that in here so we can get it right in the middle of the screen. And remember that you just do the zoom in over on the left page view to make things bigger, right? So the identité, it was a couple pages in. And this is what I would want to see. So you, my students, reviewed this page in my classroom, and you would use je m'appelle, and je suis américaine, je suis haïtienne. And I want to see the use of habiter, right? Because we've been reviewing habiter, reviewing how to use avoir, okay? And any nationalities, right? I asked you to include your nationality, so it might just be American, and where you lay in your family using vocabulary from your family, right? So that's where you would find that, all right? I want to always have you review your ER verbs. So habiter, jouer au tennis, regarder la télé, étudier le français, travailler à mon école, anything you can to do your ER verbs. They have to be there or you're not going to get a 4. I'm talking about your professions. What do you want to do and why? What are multiple career options? All right. And you can use aller, what you want to do in the future, and depuis. Think how long you've been doing something. You could do I want to do something, I can, or I can't because. That's how you get more sophisticated. For depuis, let's look. It's on page, I believe it's at the end of Unit 1. I did not do a lesson on it, and I should have. We've been using it in my classroom, in my brick and mortar classroom. Depuis is an awesome word that makes past tense a lot easier. So if you want to jot this down, it's on page 70. And for depuis, you use the word since for how long you've done something. So my family and I have only lived in Spokane 1 year. Ma famille et moi habitons à Spokane depuis un an. So if you look at this page, we in English say he has been working here for 5 days. In French, he works here since 5 days. Il travaille ici depuis 5 jours. They're using je here. Okay, and if you want to look at how to use depuis, this is a great way to include sophisticated language in your writing. Okay, let's keep looking at this rubric. Then you need to use a lot of adjectives, all right, a large variety. What do you want to be? Je veux être. What do you not want to be? Je ne veux pas être. What my students are working on, maybe someone's really ambitieux pendant la semaine during the week, but le week-end, il est paresseux. Maybe he's lazy on the weekend. You need a lot of vocabulary here to get a large variety. Possessions, a lot of people forgetting to use avoir in a variety of ways. Avoir besoin de, avoir peur de. You have to show me that you learned all those avoir idioms. Well, if you want to review what those are, you can go back to your book and always research. I believe they were in lesson 2 in unit 1. And a lot of people are struggling that I want to see what is taught in this unit. I don't want to see what you have to look up and what you don't know, right? So if I want to see a ton of adjectives. I'm scrolling through them here, right? I want to see a large variety of adjectives from the unit. Imagine this being a test. Imagine me giving you a test on all these adjectives. Here's your expressions with avoir, right? So many people took great notes on these, but then you didn't use them in your sentences. Tell me what maybe this person is scared of, or why this person is lucky, or I look tired, because I know that's more of a daily thing, so that probably wouldn't be in your project. But you can talk about what you need, or what you want, or what you have the intention of doing someday. These are wonderful for showing me that you know avoir, right? So use avoir. Use the faire expressions. Where are the faire expressions? Remember that great vocabulary list that I gave you that looks like this? Remember these? I want these in your project, all right? You got to figure, do you or do you not do these things? Okay, if I don't see those, you're not going to have a 4, right, on faire. And then maybe your bucket list, review a couple, show me that you know aller and do those things again that you want to do in your future and that your friend wants to do in your chosen other person that you're talking about. Look at this beautiful project from one of our students, Caitlin. She did a PowerPoint, and she did one PowerPoint for all of the identité, what is the identity of her mom and then of her, and then all of the ER verbs. I love that she likes to knit. Elle aime tricoter. I love that. I know she knows that verb and she used it, and then she's also talking about eating chocolat. Then she talks about some jobs that she'd want to be and why. And then all the adjectives. There are so many adjectives. Je suis polie et sympathique et aimable pendant l'école. Je suis efficace et ambitieuse. Her adjectives agree. Je ne suis pas paresseuse. I'm not lazy. Je suis souvent sérieuse. Je veux être active et musicien au printemps. Je ne veux pas être bête, égoïste, malhonnête. And then the same about her mom. Christine est tolérante, patiente et organisée, and so forth. For the avoir, talking about things she needs. What does she have what is she scared of? What does she want? On the weekend, tons of idioms. Faire une promenade à cheval, faire un bonhomme de neige, faire une promenade en voiture, faire du jogging, faire la vaisselle, faire un pique-nique. Beautiful. Look at the bucket list. All those things both of them want to do. That was a lot of work. This person got 100%. So this exemplar, she's sharing it with us because I wanted to show you what 100% looks like on this project. So this week, cette semaine, make sure that project is in. And now I'm going to go in and look at your pacing guide for French 2A. I'm going to squeeze this in this screen. We are in week 8. Last week, you did the Déjeuner Gratuit blog and the final project. So you're going to need to do that this week. Now we're starting unit 2, the passé composé, le weekend enfin, en ville, and a video. You have 3 things to do this weekend. Okay, so you need to be jumping into unité 2. So to get into unit 2, you are going to get into your coursework. Okay, and we are now starting unit 2, which looks like this, le weekend enfin. Mine's looking a little different than yours, just so you know, because I'm in the teacher mode. But this is what your unit looks like, okay? So in Discovering French, right, we need to make sure you're in unit 2, all right? So I'm going to make sure I'm in unit 2 over here, and you are now beginning that. I made my screen really small today because I'm zeroing in on lists and exemplars. I don't want you to be able to see them. Okay, my computer is spinning around trying to pull this up. I'm sure yours is doing the same thing today. And here we are jumping into the passé composé. So in unit 2, you are going to learn how to talk about things in the past tense Yesterday, we know how to say je parle. Now we're going to learn how to say yesterday I spoke, j'ai parlé. Before we do that, we're going to learn a ton of vocabulary about the city and about the weekend, le weekend. So, passé, mine's not pulling up, and I'm sorry. It's just taken too long. My internet's really slow today, and it's just not pulling up the page. So let me just go ahead and shut that down. And please look at this rubric closely. If you want the grade that you want, you're going to have to look at that. And remember that we always want sophisticated and a lot of evidence right here, exceptional understanding. No prompting or guidance is needed. It's vocabulary from the unit, not things that are looked up on online translator. It's going to hurt your grade. Minimal errors. A lot of variety that has been learned. No English. It's yours. It's not that of a translation app. Natural flow. It's creative. Shows much effort. That's what it takes to get a 4. So look at that rubric. Et passez une bonne semaine. Have a great weekend.